Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to the deconversion story of a Nigerian atheist who was raised in a Catholic background, and one of the things that made her to start questioning was the existence of the prevalence of these gender roles, how there's always suppression and oppression, and its snowball effect. The snowball effect was her finally losing her belief in God. So if you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. Would love to have you there. So now, let's go and listen to the deconversion story of Ada. Hello Ada, and you are welcome to Story of an Atheist. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
We manage. We are surviving Nigeria as it is, because I don't know where we are heading. It's if one thinks of it, the depression we fall into, it's so deep. You have to use rope to pull you out. So Ada, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on to share your story. I don't know if you have heard this. There's this statement: facts tell, but stories sell. Because Jesus and all that, na story. Muhammad and Gbogbo, na story. It's a story. People are moved by stories, taps into their emotions. So let us also work on that format. So that's why our stories need to be heard. So we are welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we know we are speaking with Ada. We'd like to know a little more about you. So would you like to share your age, location, what you do for a living? Have they snatched you? You understand, and so on and so forth, as you like.
Okay. Well, I would give you my name, but not my location. Okay, no, I'll give you my location, but not my full name. I'm currently residing in Abuja.
Oh, nice.
Also currently doing NYSC.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And I am 23 years old. I turned 23 in May. So yeah, that's the only information I'm giving.
That's more than enough. Thank you very much. So when it comes to this whole religion matter, what do you identify as? Atheist, agnostic, irreligious? You don't do labels. What exactly do you identify as?
No, I'm definitely an atheist. I don't really believe in God.
Okay, so you define atheism as what again? You're not believing in God, plainly.
No, like a lack of belief in God or gods.
Okay, so you are not one of those atheists that say, I believe God does not exist.
No, I would say that God does not exist because of lack of evidence.
Okay, fair enough. Different ways. That's one of the things that on the surface level, I've been seeing that in hard atheism, soft atheism. I'm like, we shall not believe. Maybe we just that's the Venn diagram that we all intersect in is. Do you believe in God? Yes or no? And all of us answer no. Then we can now say, okay, me, I lack a belief. Me, I believe it does not, but we do not believe together. Our answer is no. So we're together. We're together. So that's all now let's dive into your religious background. Want to know, like, give us the origin story from the very first day of memory of religion up to this very point. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so I was raised Catholic, and I started by journey of leaving religion started because of my elder sister's influence.
Oh,
And also not just it started with my elder sister's influence, and also, you know, traditional, and my also I also disliked traditional gender roles, like a man having like power over me.
yeah.
Like I also did like it also made me not really like older men, like old men in particular, because they have more authority than younger men. So
Mm,
I was always like, oh, I would never want to marry a man that is stuck in, that is
and
religious
that
or
mentality, yeah.
follows, yeah, follows traditional gender roles. Um, it also made me later on realize that I didn't really want. Well, no, it's not really. I won't say that. Like my dislike for religion is tied to why I don't want children. But yeah, I also don't want children. So me going after like a man in particular that is
Mm,
traditional is a waste of time.
yeah.
So, and I also did not. I remember one time in high school where I was also saying that like um I don't want to depend on my husband financially, and literally the whole class was against me. Or it was only one person that wasn't really against me, but she also didn't want to enter the conversation. But I was basically having an argument
Alone.
with my principal, and like all the other classmates that were women, not just men too, were on his side basically, and it was one of the most annoying conversations I've ever had to put myself in. You get what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
were basically the headmaster. Our headmaster was such a sexist man. He looked like he was sexist too. God, that his teeth, man, like his teeth made me feel more confident about my own gap tooth. His own wasn't just a gap; it was looking left and right. So that like that
Oh,
he was such a sexist asshole, and he was always, basically reminding women, like reminding us teenage girls and women where we stand in society. So that day, it just like the whole would you become a housewife for your husband, or would you financially depend on your husband conversation came up, and I was like, nah, I wouldn't. I want to work. And he basically ended up saying that don't worry, that one day I would calm down and I will meet a man that I would submit to, that I'll make a very good wife. And I was just like, nah, I would never be in that kind of relationship. And I'm still, at that time I was like 16 or 17, and I'm 23 and still have never been in that kind of relationship before. So obviously he was wrong. Um, and then like I can also remember also I didn't
wait, wait.
really
Let me help you. Let me like we are jumping some details are missing between.
okay.
If you start from the origin now, like your parents now, what was their own religious stance that influenced you when you were possibly a toddler, a child? How was that experience from your memory? I don't know.
Yeah, that they always said that prayer works.
Uh,
There was a yeah, like I
so they
used
were
to
Catholics, have you? They were also
yeah,
Catholics.
well my mom is a Catholic and my father is Pentecostal, or what how do they pronounce that one?
Protestant, have you? Yeah, Pentecostal, Protestant, yeah.
Yeah, yes, basically, yeah, but he always followed us to Catholic church to show his support for my mom. So like
So
yeah, yeah, prayer is something that they said that was very important. And yeah, I used to believe that oh, if you pray like good thing, if you pray about something like let's say a good day
yeah.
or for good things to happen, it would happen. I used to believe a lot in that.
And you were seeing
Uh,
results. Did you actually see results that confirm that?
I didn't see any result. Though. I prayed for big boobs when I was a teenager, and I still don't have them. So, hopefully, no any result. There
Ah,
was no lies. So yeah, that's Uh, that was basically it. What else again? Um,
So by your teenage years, with all the experience with the teachers, but even with all that, you saying you you don't want to be under a man, you don't want to. You by that time, did you understand what feminism was?
I understood it a little bit. I didn't really get the whole picture, but I understood it a little bit. And yeah, also the another thing that made me not like religion with my childhood and teenage years is also when they used to in schools they used to force us to join fellowships. I really hated
Mhm.
that. Like it was an activity that I hated doing. So I think that
Okay, that
also
means you went to a
contributed.
Christian school now, abi?
No, no, like sometimes the school just hosted fellowships on Friday. It wasn't
Oh.
all the time, but anytime they did, they would force us to go. And I did not like that. So it contributed to my anti religious stance.
And that was like in your teenage years too.
Yeah, high school. Yeah, that's basically it.
So all the time you were still, all this period, you were still, did you believe in God? This period while you were still saying something wrong, did you believe?
At that time I was still unsure. I think that time that's when I identified as agnostic. But in my twenties is when I said, I now said that okay, now I'm definitely an atheist. I'm not agnostic anymore. And
Yeah.
then to avoid backlash, I used to say that um that I'm still a Christian, but I'm obviously not that religious. That so just to avoid, people being like, "Wow, how can you not?" But no, but when I entered like university, that I started telling people that yeah, I'm not religious at all, and I don't want children, and people will be like, "Oh, okay,
You are strange.
wow." Yes, that's basically it. I was more in university. I was more comfortable saying that I was not religious, but I still didn't use the word atheist. I still didn't want to say atheist. I just said no. I was not religious, and that's it.
But between when and when, what can you pinpoint exactly when you made that switch, or it was just a slow burn?
Yeah, it was definitely just a slow burn, and I think that I was also holding on to the label agnostic because again, I didn't want to face backlash from religious people for not believing in God. So I was not like, okay, agnostic is a safe label to use. Yeah, I think that was the reason why I hung on to the label for a while before I changed my mind.
But I will assume now as you are an atheist, you don't believe hell is real, and you don't
No, not
believe
at all.
juju.
Yeah, I don't believe hell, heaven, juju. None of that is
Yeah,
real.
especially that juju one. How did you how or it just automatic? Or did you
No,
consider or you even think?
I think I always thought that the concept of juju was rubbish, but heaven and hell scared me.
Oh,
Heaven and
even
hell
that just
always,
scared you more than juju.
yeah, hell now, juju, juju was not scary to me at all. And
Oh,
Africans in general, they are okay laughing at their own traditional beliefs, and admitting that oh, it's not real. Like a lot of them are like that, but when it comes to Islam or Christianity, they will defend it no matter how stupid it is. You get what I'm saying? So I was just like, okay, if my parents can laugh at the concept of juju, then it's not that serious. But they are serious about heaven and hell. So
mm,
that's how
that's
I protect it.
wow. That's a little uncommon because most Nigerians that we know, eh, it's usually hard for them that once they believe in God, in Jesus or Allah, somehow juju must be they must believe it because it seems to be the representative of the devil that they can physically point to on earth. So that's why I'm usually surprised when I find out there were some people that when they were Christians, they did not really believe juju. I'm like, all those the evil that flies by day flies by Nollywood. All the Nollywood Sakobi the snake. turning to bed or bats, witches going for kotoaye, all those things, they have been planted deep in our psyche.
Yeah.
So all those kind of things did not affect you. All those you never went through. Anyways, Pentecostal, you escaped the Pentecostal indoctrination from your father. Lucky you, seems so.
No,
Was,
no, no, he never took me to a Pentecostal church. We were always going to Catholic churches. I don't know why. Yeah,
okay.
he never took
And then
me
he
or
was
any.
basically a Catholic. I mean, or does he usually go to the Pentecostal church on his own?
No, he was just following my mom to go to Catholic churches. We never went to Pentecostal churches.
We wow. I think that's oh, that was lucky. That was lucky. That was lucky. Yeah. So now who did you tell
Oh,
first?
okay.
Yeah. Hmm?
Sorry, I also forgot
Yeah.
that. Oh, another thing that influenced my anti-religious principles was I was actually never homophobic, and I'm somebody.
Mm,
Yeah, I was actually never homophobic, and is I actually don't know why, but as somebody that is like bisexual that still likes the same sex, I still repress that part of me. But I was not really homophobic to other people, but I was homophobic to myself. So
oh,
yeah,
because
that
of
is
the
very
teachings around, right?
yes, basically, yeah. So that's another thing. I decided to become more comfortable in my sexuality around like 2022. I think I told my sisters about it, and yeah, that's ever since I've been a little bit more comfortable with it now. But before, I used to think that it's normal for straight women to feel this way about women, but they are still straight. I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense now. How can a heterosexual woman like women? It doesn't make sense.
Is what
So
religion does. It keeps us ignorant about our sexuality. Whatever your sexuality is, straight, gay, it's just you're just ignorant about it because all they tell you is don't do, and your body, the raging, the hormones are raging. The hormones want to do. How do you go? How do you do it? Like your body's like, I want to do. Oh God, all this what you are doing. I want to do. This is fucking insane. How they just messed up. That's why the Nigerian society, with the ignorance of our sexuality, is prevalent. It's sickening. Even just no. It's really terrible. Looking back, they didn't do us well at all. They didn't
at
do us well
all.
at all. Yeah. So wait, your sister, she influenced you in questioning gender roles and not religion, are you?
In religion and gender roles.
So is she?
Yeah, she's also
Um,
an atheist too.
oh, okay. Okay. Let me. In case, just put in a word for us here. If she's interested. But anyway, um, now, you are living in Nigeria, and you can
Yes.
see how everything is going ape shit. How do you feel? How do you see religion being responsible, being part of, if not a major part of the state of our country?
Okay, this is how I think religion contributes to the issue that is going on. A majority of people are already not politically active whatsoever. They don't want to join political conversations at all. They are more
Yeah.
focused on taking care of their families, for example, or they are more focused on their own inner circles. So religion basically just makes them complacent towards oppressive institutions. They believing that if they just pray, Nigeria will be better.
Mhm.
Like that's what religion does to people. It makes them like inactive in fighting oppressive institutions. or a government that doesn't care about them. So that's what religion does. That's how religion contributes to what is our current terrible economic and political states.
Hmm. God, I see it as a distraction from the reality that is on ground. It
Yes.
it creates some unnecessary division that should not exist. But divide and rule is the name of the game for those with access to power. And they will
Yeah.
keep the rest of us fighting. If Christian is not fighting Muslim and Christian will join together to fight atheists. And and depending on what part of the country the atheist is, your life might be in danger. But
Yeah, remember that woman, that student that they killed, Deborah Samuels?
yes, perfect example. Like
She wasn't even an atheist or anything. Though.
Christian, atheists will be
She just said
atheists.
she just said that they should stop posting religious things on
Of
the group chat.
class group. Oh, that's how they just scream blasphemy, just like that. It's insane how, and they've not arrested them till today scot free. Scot
Yeah,
free.
they've gone scot free. Like they knew that they were not going to get arrested when they told the public that they are the ones that killed her. They were
Mm-hmm.
one of them were boldly announcing that
Yes, now
he's the
he
one
held the
that set up.
matches. Yeah,
They knew that they will get away with it because they feel like they are defending their prophets, that they are doing something good. And well, that person is what he's probably still he's suffering like the rest of us in this Nigeria. So what he did was completely pointless.
I, those kind of things that make me lose hope. Like, is there light at the end of the tunnel? Will people that don't believe be able to just say yes, I don't believe, and everybody be like, okay, are you sabi? Not with the really, or depending on what side you are, fire, fuel. No, or prison like Mubarak Bala. Nah, it's insane, fucking insane. Then I want to jump into something. Now you are an irreligious woman living in Nigeria. Those are rare. That category of people are rare. So I assume by default you are a feminist. You are irreligious. How how do you navigate through life when you see how women are treated in religion, especially knowing that like it's almost if you look at both the two Abrahamic religions here in Nigeria, the foundation is built on women. Women are the backbone of those religions. If the women walk away, it will crumble. How do I want to phrase this question now? How does it make you feel? What do you see? How do you perceive what is going on? Maybe me as a man, there are some things I would definitely not be able to see or understand the way you will. So like, what do you see like with women in religion? How they are treated? The whole church, they have to talk every now and again. It's always submit your paper like an exam. And do you have any? Is there a way forward? What ways do you feel as an irreligious woman you can help to push women to start questioning this and to get the fuck out of these religions? I don't know. Or is there or to just dilute the theology?
I would ask them questions about where they want to be in life. And to be honest, a lot of them want to like secure a job before they get married. Even the ones that are very like traditional or very religious, like I will ask them questions because there was a time I was talking to these two Muslim women, and I asked them. They were my classmates in university. Like 2 years ago, I asked them that are you going to would you want your husband to marry um a second wife, and would you submit to your husband? Like, would you allow your husband to control you? And they were saying no, absolutely not. Like they were appalled by the idea, and I also asked them that, okay, so you can disagree with some things in religion, and they were like, yes, that you can disagree with, and these are Muslim women, oh. So it was surprising that they said that, yeah, it's not everything we would agree with, and the prophets would be okay with it. That's basically what they were saying. And I'm just like,
It's
okay.
even the prophet they are worried about, not Allah.
Like, the Muslims are obsessed with Prophet Muhammad.
He's
Like,
fucking Allah. See, Muhammad is Allah. See, Allah is just a fucking proxy. Yeah.
like, they are obsessed with him. They have done so many harm just to protect that they are non-existent prophets. Ah,
Yeah, you continue.
okay, so I also have like conversations with them, like just in when I was in camp for NYC like a month ago. I like I They have somebody. My sister says that this is not really a good way to interact with people, but I can get deep with people very fast. Like, for example, when it comes to having conversations about children, that's not something that you would usually bring up with people that you do not know. But I brought it up again to see how the women that I was talking to would react to it, and they were actually not. Surprisingly, they weren't that judgmental, but they were basically telling me that don't worry, that I would change my mind. That what if I get with a man that would want kids? What if he will say that he wants kids, but later on, like, he will say that he doesn't want children, but later on he may change his mind. That what he will like it actually didn't go the way I expected. I thought that they would start bringing God into the conversation, but they were actually in religion wasn't brought up, surprisingly.
It has become cultural.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that was a bit hopeful because I really thought that they would bring up God or something, or be like, wow, but what of this? But surprisingly, it didn't go that way at all. So I was just like, okay, so there's still a little bit of hope for Nigerian women. for Nigerian women. Okay, all right. So that, to me, that's how, like, I kind of challenge people. But I know that, being going deep fast, like having deep conversations fast with people, is not really, ideal. But I do it in a way that would make them, comfortable enough to share their opinion. But there are times where it can still get heated. So, because it's not all the time that conversations would, go a certain way. Yeah, that is
Some people hear the touch. Yes, nah. But have you faced have you lost any friend because you became a non-believer?
No, not really. I've not lost anybody. Most of the people that I am friends with, they are not like close friends. But like, if I'm talking about close friends, like the few close friends I have, no, they don't have a problem with me being atheist at all.
Yeah. But your parents don't know? Or do they?
My parents don't know at all. They don't know. They do not know. They don't know, but at the same time, we don't. Me and my sisters don't go to church at all. But they don't seem to bother us about that. They don't want to bother us about that. Well, we stopped going to church since, like, I think it was 2020. But I can't even remember. But we haven't gone. Me and my sisters haven't gone to church in years. So yeah.
That's good. Well, waiting the church. Waiting the church. There's a question I forgot to ask while you were telling your story. Like, did religion kind of, looking back now, were there ideas of some scientific science, basically, let's say maybe like evolution or any other, like, where or maybe like is it the moon landing or all those kind of things, like some all those science, like the religion warp your idea of science, or you actually what you studied science properly both as a Christian and now as an atheist? Because I know Catholics are usually more scientific involved and be informed.
Informed. I'm actually not that scientifically informed at all. Like science interests me, but like sometimes it can get a little bit too complicated for me. So like it's something I have to be patient with. But when I was religious, I wasn't really thinking about how blasphemous science was. Like I was this kind of true Christian that wanted to hold on to Christianity because I felt like prayer benefited me, but prayer is actually just not real. It's not real at all.
It's just
And
talking to yourself.
yes, that's basically it. So I feel like I was just holding on to Christianity for the sake of it. I don't know, like I was just holding
Make I
on to
just
it.
join.
Yes, that's basically that. Let me just do it because everybody else is doing it. So that's why I held on to it.
But I thought they
That's
said that people become atheists for because it is trendy, peer pressure. the, the projections these Christians do is crazy. Like you are telling me that I choose to become an atheist, something that is a pariah in this kind of society because it is trendy and peer. Which peer is pressuring? Which atheists do you know around you in real life? How many of you know atheists in real life?
Don't
It's
mind them.
insane. It's insane. They can't just fathom somebody not believing. But they'll be all right. They'll be all right. Now, what advice do you give to any Nigerian woman who has heard your story now? They resonate with the part of actually how religion enforces the gender roles. But one experience, one God has touched them in one way. Somehow, Jesus is still their bestie. You know, what advice you give? They can really see that how the Bible or the Quran informs the gender roles that suppress women. But still, because of these supernatural experiences, one or the other, they are still holding on to God. So, what advice you give to such a person?
Oh, what advice would I give to them? I would ask them if really okay, there are ways that this can go. I would ask them if religion truly benefits them. You get what I'm saying? And this can go, two ways in my head at least. Let
Mhm.
me just think of two ways. They will say that, yeah, it benefits them, that they love worshiping God, they love serving their husband, serving God. And I will tell them that, okay, that is them, to be honest. But in a rare instance where a Christian is actually honest and they say that actually I'm holding on to religion because I'm scared of life after death. Sorry, yeah, life after death.
Yeah.
I would be like that they should remember that at least they have their loved ones. You get what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
death is not as scary as it seems. You get what I'm saying? That what is actually scary is not living your life or not having a strong support system like people that care about you. You get what I'm saying? That is actually what is scary, not death. Like dying alone, like dying
Mm.
lonely is more terrifying than death itself. So they should remember that they have themselves, they have their loved ones, they have people that would encourage them to do their best. That's the advice I would give a certain type of Christian that is aware that that they are only holding on to Christianity because they feel like they won't have a purpose if they don't hold on to Christianity, or they feel like they won't be able to cope with death. That is the advice I will give them. But for the ones that are like, yeah, I'm a woman of God, I will forever serve my husband and family and God, The only thing I'll be like is okay, because I feel like those ones are gone. Like they don't want to even question it at all. So I'm just like, why would I waste my time?
That's true. That's true. Those,
I mean, people have to help themselves now.
it's when you start questioning that. Okay, that's when you know. Okay, this is the kind of person that is open to listening. But those who
Yeah.
have said, I will never ever, I will always be a Christian. I'm like, do you think atheists wanted to be atheists? Like, it's so funny how it is. I'm like, do you think we wanted to be atheists? Like, a lot of us were holding on for dear life, looking for reasons to believe, yet it fell flat on its face. So please let them go and sit down. But anything you miss about being a believer, anything, but I don't think so. But I'm just
Mm,
about I don't know
not
the
really.
whole.
I can't really remember because like you don't know how grateful I am that I left religion when I was a teenager, because there are people that are living it in their 30s, 40s.
Yo, not till I turn 30 before I open.
I was so happy when I left it, like where in my was it yeah, I think it was 12th grade, like SS3. That is when I left religion, and I was like, oh, I'm agnostic, I'm religious, blah blah blah. I think that's when I left it, and at that time I think I was 18 or 17. I was so happy I left it that early. So I think that is why now that I'm 23, everything I can't really remember much, because it's like, oh, that one is behind me. Religion, what is religion? So I'm glad that I left it very early, and it's thanks to my big sister. Mm,
Oh wow, that's it's. I am happy you have people in your team in your house.
mm,
That's always good to have because imagine some people's family, maybe they are a family of nine and they are the only ones. Who do they want to talk to? It becomes so lonely for them when they are going through the process of the conversion. But I'm happy for you. I'm envious. I wish I had that. Somebody, because me, it was just in my office and the internet and arguing with people in the office. It's just it's such a lonely experience. It's such a
honestly.
lonely
Are
experience.
you in Nigeria?
Yes, no,
Are you in Abuja?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah, uh,
have you made friends on Twitter so you can meet them in person?
yeah. We met once, 2021 or so. Yeah, I met a few
Okay.
of them. Yeah, they usually do different gatherings, so whichever one, but it's usually limited. Sometimes it's Port Harcourt, sometimes it's Abuja, sometimes it's Lagos. So usually those three places, but it's not usually consistent because we don't have an official is it NGO, like the ones that are official Atheist Society of Nigeria is usually Gen X people and they like to do physical. They are hardly active online and they don't understand that it is from the online activity that will translate into the physical. But
Yeah.
when we that were trying to do the online work, we don't get the funds to push one or two things. That's also the challenge to go and create an official NGO like okay, Nigerian Atheist Society or Atheist Community of Nigeria. Those different something similar, but say this is younger people's this thing. We don't need to be under your banner, but we can always partner. That's that's the idea. But when person want buy Gary to buy Gary na war, where I want somebody go CAC to that's the challenge. If I had the money, I could have pushed it myself. But hopefully, the Lord sends us a sugar mommy or daddy somewhere. That's my prayer. I'm telling you, I mean, that's the thing now. We need, churches now. Churches are run. They have their sugar mummies and that they just use the law to pressure them.
Mm.
That's what. Yes, they use it. They donate. Sometimes someone feel so moved and give power pastor a Bugatti just like that. But we're not yet there. We're not at that level. We are still here at the on the ground level. But it's good.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Yes, please can you also change my voice?
No problem.
All
No
right.
problem. But what? Okay, we'll talk that one offline. Yeah. But to wrap up, okay, that means I didn't to ask you this one, but I want to ask you, can we find you online? But you don't want to be found. Um, do you have
No,
any
no, no,
resource?
no, no,
Hmm?
no. I want to be found, but I
You
don't know.
want
I
to be?
just feel like I want to. You can find me. You can tell people my social media account or whatever, but it's just that my voice. I don't. It sounds lazy today, so I want you to change it.
Oh, who is my? Okay. Let me try. I will see how it will sound. I thought it was just for to be low key.
Yeah. Oh no, no.
Okay, no problem. We'll work on that and see if any magic can happen. What? Yeah. So, so where do we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Ada from Jupiter. That is my
Okay.
Twitter handle.
Okay, we'll put the link.
Um,
I'll be linking show note or yeah, any other place.
eh, no, I just want them to find me on Twitter. I'm not active on LinkedIn. I'm not active on Instagram. And see, my TikTok is rubbish. So Twitter
You
is.
don't have a blog or something.
Mm, no, I don't have a blog.
Father, do you have any resources like any books, blogs, videos, YouTube channels, podcasts that I can recommend for someone going through what you went through?
Yeah, I have a youth. The thing is that I have a person, an influencer, an atheist personality, public personality. Do you know Matt Dillahunty?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also know Richard Dawkins.
Yes. Those are
And,
those are
and then
okay.
Jacqueline, yeah, and Jacqueline Glenn. Jacqueline Glenn too is
Oh,
somebody
okay.
that, yeah,
That's new.
is on YouTube.
How do you spell it? J A K.
Jacl
Okay. Y.
Yn. Yes,
Y.
Yn.
Okay.
And then Glenn, Glenn.
Jacqueline Glenn.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Jacqueline Glenn, she's an actress.
No,
Oh,
she's an atheist YouTuber.
I mean, it's because the one that appeared was at Jacqueline. Okay, this one, wait.
She has red hair and
Yes,
she's a white woman.
yeah, that was they said they called that actress and it's showing Jacqueline Frank, maybe maiden
Yeah.
name.
No, Jacqueline Glenn.
No, there's what showing here as it's showing as Jacqueline. The Instagram is showing okay, or said maybe it's another Instagram. But anyway, Jacqueline Glenn, we'll put that link. That's a new one. I will check her
She's on
out.
YouTube too.
Yeah, I've seen her now. Honestly, we need I just hope like we need women to create atheist content in Nigeria. Not be only us men go they talk, you know.
Yeah.
And because you come from it from a different perspective, our experiences, our indoctrination experience is totally different. So our kind of view coming out will also be different, and I believe it will give a lot of women going through questioning, but to step out is it seems scary because that's
Yeah.
one of the things. To step out is a scary thing, but they can see it's bullshit. But to step out, scary. Where do they go?
Yes, especially if you're a Muslim woman. Imagine being a Muslim woman that's trying to leave Islam.
You know,
Hey,
that is very risky.
that super risky.
Life is on the line. It's very dangerous. I do not recommend you taking that risk. Well, yes, Ada, it's been awesome having you here. Thank you for sharing with us your story. We need
Yeah, you're welcome. I really appreciate being here.
we need more stories. It's great having you. Feel free to
Thank
come back anytime if you have something else you want to share with us. You're very
Right.
welcome. Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. We would love to have you there. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.